Okay, good morning. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, and happy Boxing Day shopping for Canadians out there. Yeah, so I guess just give a little background for some folks on Boxing Day. I mean, it's a holiday kind of celebrated uh, in British Commonwealth, different way, different countries. Canada pretty much ends up being a shopping day, rest day and a shopping day. Think Black Friday in the U.S., but not as much mayhem, if you will. So, anyway, happy shopping. Anyway, welcome back to the. I was gonna say weekly vlogs, but I mean, I gotta admit it's not weekly at this point. It's been 2 weeks since the last video, and yeah, so got a bit of stuff to catch up on. Just talking about my weight loss, exercising, getting back in shape, and just life in general. And so yeah, kind of been an interesting couple weeks leading up to Christmas and into Christmas. Just a variety of things going on. Get into the main one basically is the exercise hasn't worked the way I would have liked. It's definitely cardio. So we got an issue right now with our treadmill. It's got a rip in the belt, and there's some rippling in the deck. So we've got the parts for that. That's being shipped out by the manufacturer. Just waiting on the installation. The installation is going to happen on Wednesday, coming week on the 29th, so just a few more days, and that'll be fixed. But it would have been done already, but basically I couldn't let people in the house to get it fixed already. So the treadmill's in a state that the wife can still use it. It's fine for her, but I don't want to wreck it and destroy it for her because she's still in her 5K a day streak. So letting her use that, and I'm trying to avoid breaking it. But yeah, why couldn't I let people in the house? So, story. So going back last Friday, son had a tickle in his throat and some congestion in his nose and his sinuses. Nothing bad, and those aren't on the list of COVID symptoms, or at least they weren't. But yeah, those aren't on the list of COVID symptoms. We still kept him home from school those 2 days just to kind of let that run its course. Plus, he's had issues in the past with getting pneumonia, and he seems to get pneumonia easily. He's got a little bit of, just a light bit of asthma, and it just, yeah, when he gets a cold, it seems to move into his lungs, and he then misses like 2 weeks of school. So when he gets to have a problem, any kind of cold, we kind of hit him pretty hard with stuff just to hit him hard at the beginning and let it kind of be a little easier on him in the end, and you don't miss so much school. Just he gets these wicked coughs, and it's just, yeah, awful. So anyway, he was off for a couple days. Not a big deal. Those 2 days of school, he was able to do some stuff online, some stuff not. But it's getting near the end of the year, and he wasn't missing too much at the end of the before the Christmas break. So not a big deal. He missed a couple days. Nobody else was having any problems. I wasn't worried about COVID. Everybody's vaccinated and that kind of stuff. Wasn't particularly worried about anything, about any of that stuff. Saturday was fine. Sunday, I was starting to get a bit of congestion and a tickle in my throat. And yeah, again, no concerns. It wasn't really a COVID thing, fully vaccinated. I'm like, just a cold got in the house. Damn. First time we've had a cold in a year and a half kind of thing in the house. At least one that was a little stronger. But he did move into a bit of a cough. It was a dry cough. Like I said, we watch him just to make sure nothing moves into his lungs, just to be safe. But so he did have a bit of a dry cough, and his coughs always sound just so much worse than they really are. They don't seem to impact him, but they sound bad. So get to late Sunday evening, and it's like, okay, you know what? He's going to have to miss school the next day unless the cough miraculously goes away. But let's at least go get a test for him for COVID just to be extra safe. We know he doesn't have it, but let's just be safe and go get the test done. And then we can go to the school and go, look, we tested, and it's all fine. But, you know, not expecting anything. So we went down. It was late, of course, late on a Sunday. So I took him down, and he got tested. And I had that tickle in the back of the throat, a little bit of congestion. And I went, well, as a sympathy for him and solidarity, I'll get tested as well, which, yeah. that'll mess with your soul if you get those kind of tests too often. But yeah, so I did it too, just to in solidarity with them. Not expecting anything, no problems, nothing like that. So they did tell us it was going to be like 4 days, maybe 5 days to get the test results, which was crazy. I do know that friends had they had been tested and they'd gotten 24, 30 hours and they got a response kind of deal. But there was additional testing going on and things like that. We didn't really see it at the location we went to because it was a Sunday evening. There wasn't a lot of traffic. Yeah, and for whatever reason, our province, Manitoba, just really hasn't included any of the quick tests in their testing strategy. So there was really not a great place or a good way we could go just get a quick test to go, hey, yeah, see, it's nothing, it's all good. So we had to get the full test and wait for the longer term testing to occur. So not a big deal. We went home and it's all fine. Next morning, wake up and my cold's getting a little bit worse. And it's like, oh, great. So I started taking some cold medicine, which can make me dopey as heck. So I spent a lot of time napping this week, which was fine. I was off work anyway. I basically took the last 2 weeks of the year off for Christmas break and stuff like that. So it's, I wasn't worried about work or anything like that. So just rest and get healthy and that kind of thing. And son was able to do some of his school online, some not. So he got a little bit of stuff done to finish out the year. But as my cough got a little bit worse, or at least my cold was getting a little bit worse, I was just sitting down at the computer doing some reading, and that's when all the news started coming out and all the articles started being shown that Omicron, its symptoms were more cold-like. Ah, crap. And you go through the list and it was everything we had. I'm like, oh, damn it. So now we got to be extra responsible here. We're already being responsible, getting tested, staying away from people, keeping them home from school, all that kind of stuff. But now we need to be extra responsible. So I talked to my brother who was going to come out for Christmas, and sure enough, he was basically showing cold symptoms the morning when I talked to him too. So he was going to get tested. In the end, like, he wasn't negative. He was negative. He didn't have it either, but he didn't want to travel out from Ontario. He was going to drive and get like halfway here and find out we did have COVID, and then we had to self-isolate, and he'd be able to still visit other family members, but yeah, was it going to be worthwhile? Was it going to be safe? So he unfortunately had to kind of cancel his trip. But so we're sitting watching the numbers. We're watching the testing go crazy. People are getting tested more and more. People were having like 4-hour plus lines waiting to get tested. Talking like 5 days or longer to get the results back is what they're talking right now. There was over 10,000 tests that they were waiting for them to be completed, the backlog. And so that was, not having the rapid testing in the strategy was just not great for Manitoba. It wasn't a good thing, especially right now with the Omicron basically potentially hitting lots of people. And of course, we've got some of our worst case numbers ever in Manitoba now. They don't release the numbers on the weekend, so it's going to be kind of interesting tomorrow to see just how bad it got. So so it was just wild to watching it go. We were glad we got our tests in and we got tested early before it got real crazy, because late Wednesday we did get our responses and negatives. We did not have COVID, so that was good, because I had myself about 75% convinced at that point that we did have the Omicron variant, that it had managed to break through our vaccination and that kind of stuff. But luckily it was just a cold. So it's good that we know that now. It's we're still being safe. We're not having people over. We had a very low-key Christmas, all that kind of stuff, which is normally what I do anyway, but it's not that much change. But just being extra safe, being extra cautious of what we do and when we go out. It's like, do we really need to go do that? No. So, we're not out doing Boxing Day shopping today, that kind of thing, which would be something that, well, I wouldn't do, but Heather might. So it's, so, I mean, it's good to know we don't have it. But yeah, that was a interesting week, and I spent a lot of time sleeping because of the cold meds, whatever. It was like I'd walk past a couch and then I'd wake up. because I'd fallen asleep on the couch, kind of thing. So it's a weird week. It's mostly gone now. I've just got a little bit of residual kind of stuff up in the sinuses. Might hear it a little bit in my voice. It's hard to say what's going to come across on the microphones. But yeah, a little bit in the throat, but now the scratchiness of the throat is gone. Never did move into my lungs, nothing like that. So just a cold, but it does highlight a few things. One being that I'm glad it wasn't COVID because I was going to be pissed. We canceled a trip in December that we were going to go down to Disney for 10 days. There was a couple reasons we canceled it. One was the son's schoolwork. He was getting a lot of stuff now that he's in high school. Taking him out for a week or two never used to be a problem. Always easy to catch up or get ahead even before we go on vacation, that kind of stuff. Weren't really able to do that now, and yeah, basically with the school he's doing and the special program he's in, he's doing all this extra work. Taking time off is just not going to work for his all his special stuff. And that's the special stuff is basically he's going to come out of high school with an additional college degree. So it's as long as we don't burn him out. But so we canceled the trip because of that, and also we were seeing mostly the decision was made because of the Delta was moving up. It was before the Omicron wave here was starting to hit. So we're like, you know what? Let's just be safe. Let's cancel. It's too bad. It's now 2 years since we've been to Disney. Well, I guess it'll be 2 years for me in January when the marathon goes through that weekend. But because I was at the 2020 Disney World Marathon and Goofy Challenge. But so yeah, 2 years essentially. Yeah, disappointing. We wanted to get back there. There's so many things that have changed since we've been there. Different rides that have opened and things like that. But we wanted to be safe. We didn't want to get sick. We didn't want to get anybody else sick. Bring something back with us. We're all vaccinated, but we didn't want to accidentally bring something back. And one of the things too, we didn't want to be down there and then one of us get it and be stuck down there over Christmas trying to find a hotel room last minute, paying the extra cost. It was more a financial thing. We knew that like if we did have a breakthrough, it wouldn't be serious likely because we were vaccinated. So not super concerned about that, but it was, yeah, it's just didn't want to take that risk. But if we got it while we're at home over the same period, I was going to be super angry. But luckily it wasn't that, so that was good. But yeah, entertaining. The other thing it did do is it did highlight that obviously we've got some holes in our strategies on prevention here in the family. Everyone wear masks. We do the hand sanitizer. We got some at the doors. You come in, that kind of stuff. And I'm sure after a year and a half of more of this, that certain things are starting to get lax, and most of our holes probably relate to the teenage boy. Just teenager in high school. He's a good kid, but he can be absent-minded, if you will, sometimes. Plus, high schoolers in general, whatever, just kind of forget the rules now and then, just for convenience. Like there's been times I've picked him up after school, and the kids running across the busy highway less than 20 feet from an actual crosswalk. Yeah, it'd be convenient to run across right now, but if you just walked 20 seconds out of your way, you would have been safer. Which, sounds a bit like an allegory actually for the world we live in right now. But I'm not going to get deeply into that. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, around a bunch of teenagers, he's got a teenager's face, so he's probably touching the acne, things like that. Yuck. But doing a few things he's probably not supposed to, not being quite as safe as he should, and I think he was the vector for bringing that cold in. So, a little bit of time off, retrain him, just to try and get through this. Hopefully this is one of the last big waves with Omicron. That's been the real interesting thing. And of course, that's the way how tired I've been and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the exercising hasn't happened. So a little bit of a break from the doing of the light weights every day and things like that, because I just haven't been down here in the office around the weights. I haven't thought about it as much. I've been spending too much time sleeping on the couch. And of course, I haven't been doing the cardio because I'm not going outside in the cold with the cold I have, and I wasn't getting on the treadmill because I didn't want to wreck it. So hopefully that all gets kind of resolved in the next week as this cold fades away finally, and I can get that treadmill going again. So that hopefully will be all soon, and that can get kind of repaired. Because luckily my weight hasn't skyrocketed or anything over the last week without doing much of anything. So I guess you can't eat while you're sleeping. But yeah, so I'm still at a good static spot, not down as low as I should have been. I've come back up, unfortunately, but it's as I've said before, it's you don't have to go back to the train station to get back on the track. You can get back on essentially where you have fallen off, where you are right now, and continue on from there. Continue on the journey. So that'll be the plan there. So what else has happened this last week? I did break 1,000 chin-ups. Not 1,000 chin-ups. 1,000 days in a row doing chin-ups every day. So it's a chin-up streak that I was on. I'm over 1,000 days, and it's continuing on. Normally when you're thinking of streaks and you hear of streaks, people doing, well, I did a chin-up streak. I did 50 chin-ups a day, or I did 100 chin-ups a day, or I did 100 push-ups a day for 30 days, that kind of stuff. This isn't that kind of a streak. Those kind of streaks, I mean, you're risking burning out, you're risking injury. It may be interesting, but you need to stop when you're doing things like that, because you're gonna chance of overworking, and you're gonna work against yourself in the end. This is light numbers. So basically, when I started this, I was doing like 3. I'm now up to about like 10ish, that kind of thing. But not in any way have I been consciously trying to get more chin-ups out of it. Think of it as every morning on your way to work, you have to climb one set of stairs, and you just do it. You don't think about trying to do the stairs faster, doing it more times, not training to climb those stairs. You just do it. Same as I just do the chin-ups. So the fact that I've gotten a little bit better at it is just because, sometimes I'll decide I want to do a little bit extra, and there'll be a week where I push myself a little bit harder and I get a little bit better and that kind of stuff. But it's literally just, it's when you, like, if with the analogy with the stairs, climbing that set of stairs is not going to train you to do a marathon on its own. It's just climbing a set of stairs. But you're going to be better shape to do that set of stairs than a person who's never done a set of stairs in the past. It's just, I'm not sure I'm getting across my point there, but it's really just it's just an activity I am doing. It is more about the mental aspect of showing myself that part of making the consistency and the routine makes it get done. So that's kind of the idea behind this, is that the consistency of doing the chin-ups every day reminds me that consistency pays off. And I can see that it's made some changes to my shoulders and my arms and things like that. And but those changes, those physical changes, were not the point. Getting better at chin-ups was not the point. It was just a matter of setting myself a task that I must do every day and building that mental model for just doing stuff and following a pattern and building a routine, because that's what I need to do for diet and other exercise and stuff like that. So it's just building that layer there mentally, as opposed to the actual chin-up themselves. It could have been almost any activity I could have picked, but chin-ups is the one I picked to do that. So, but that was cool. Over 1,000 days and continuing on, so we'll see where that gets to. So I mean, I've done that over vacations then. I've been at Disney and done vacations. I've gone into the different gyms and found different ways to do the chin-ups and stuff like that. Mexico vacation, I found a way to do it at one of their gyms. Just a variety of things like that. I've just found ways to make sure I'm doing it every day. And that's applying that skill to running and all that kind of stuff is what I need to get back to doing, which I used to be able to do that, but I need to get that back. So anyway, what else is coming up? Or what else has been going on? So, wife Heather, she's still continuing her 5K a day streak on the treadmill, and she's well over a year now. And for 2021, she's now over 2,000 miles, and she's handily broken my yearly record, which was 1,971 miles. So fantastic, good for her. She's putting in the work, and it's really showing. And she's pushing strong. She's she's a better runner than me right now, that's for darn sure. And she's put the work in to get that. So that's fantastic. Good for her. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to break the treadmill, is I don't want to break her streak, because she's over a year now, but now she wants to streak out the rest of 2021 and then make decisions from there. But that's, I don't want to be the one that breaks that streak. If she decides she's going to break it, I want her to be her conscious decision, because that's just better mentally if you make that decision yourself and no external factor forces it. So what's coming up? New Year's is coming up, so that means I'm pushing a year on my weight loss attempt. I kind of started January 1 last year, but really January 3rd and 4th was my worst weight. So that's kind of my loop around on where I'm going to kind of look at. But just, it's more of a reflection point as opposed to, oh, okay, year's done, the journey is over, that kind of thing. And where I got to is where I got to, that's it. That's not the point. And it's not really like my resolution is to continue on or anything like that, because I'm not really a fan of New Year's resolutions, because really they're just, it seems weird to pick an arbitrary date on a calendar to say this is when I make the decision to change my life. If there's something I need to change or fix, I should be making steps to do that right away. So with that in mind, I should be making steps to change everything right now. But as it is right now, it's like there's a few things that I've got to get sorted before I make my next steps. Like, I got to get rid of this cold. I've got to get that treadmill fixed, things like that. So it's, I've already acknowledged that I need to get this started on that stuff. So it's going to continue on. One of the other issues, of course, with resolutions and stuff like that is that it's like when you declare that I'm going to do this, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this and it's going to be great. You get the happy chemicals from doing that right as you do it. And in some cases, if you let it, you won't bother to actually do the thing to get those happy chemicals, because you got the happy chemicals by making the announcement that you're going to do it. That's one of the silly ways the human brain works, but that's the way it is. So that is one of the dangers I've got with the vlogging and the blogging and stuff like that, is I'm going to do this. This is my plan. This is how I'm going to do it. And then I don't do it because I've gotten the happy chemicals by saying I was going to do it. And so that's why now I try to stay vague on what my next steps are in some cases, or what specifically I am doing next, because I'm going to make the mental decision that this is what I'm doing, but I'm not going to announce it and necessarily get the happy chemicals before I deserve them. So that's kind of trying to train my brain on that one. So we'll see how that all goes. But yeah, so I'm not really a big fan of resolutions. But one thing that is good about New Year's and the resolution concept in that period is that everyone's really generally had a really busy holiday season, or many people have had a busy holiday season. There's lots of stuff going on. And now after New Year's, things kind of calm down. That's a good time to kind of sit back as you're resting and trying to recover from the craziness that is December and Christmas and right now everything else that's going on. As you're trying to sit back and recover and think, now's a good time for real introspection, some honest introspection, and like what's been going on, what's made me happy, what hasn't made me happy, what do I want to change, and make some honest points to yourself about where you are and what you want. And then start looking at what you want to do. Instead of saying, I want to lose 30 pounds, or I want to do some other vague thing, whatever. It's do some honest introspection, figure out where you are in this quiet period if you can, and just kind of go, okay, well, I can start making some of these changes. I can start doing some of this stuff. And it can be kind of a trigger point, but it's not a resolution. It's okay, I've had an opportunity because of the way the calendar has fallen to now have some quiet reflection time. And now let's make some decisions on what we want to do and start slowly working towards it. Because in a lot of cases, the stuff that you would normally do a resolution for is not something you can fix in a weekend. You know, it's stuff you need to take time to do. Kind of thing like that. So no specific resolution, but I will be doing some thought on what I'm doing. And I mean, I haven't stopped thinking about what I need to do, and I've known for a while what I need to do, and I was getting a good start. It was I had a pretty good start to my 2 weeks vacation where I got a whole crap load of stuff done in the first 4 hours of actual vacation, and then I started getting sick. So the world has a way of messing with your plans. So that's fun. Anyway, what else is to come? So yeah, going into January, I will be, of course, trying to get back on track for exercising, continuing the weight loss, all that kind of fun stuff. I will be trying to do more weekly vlogs, do this more regularly, trying to get some live streaming stuff going, because it could be more convenient than sitting down and doing this discussion and then editing afterwards. It can be done quicker, because that's one of the things I want to try and do, is get more efficient at this, so it fits in better with my life, and I can get more done for other stuff, and leaves a bigger window to actually maybe exercise and do other things I need to do. But that's that. On the family channel, there's going to be a few things probably roll through. Once the treadmill is fixed this week, we'll probably do a bit of a video to kind of say, like, we've had this treadmill for 9 months, 10 months. This is the second time we've replaced the belt. The first one was a bit of an anomaly, I think, due to how the wife was using the treadmill. She was doing very concentrated heat, essentially, on how she was walking and using the treadmill initially, and it melted it. So yeah, it's 9 months. We've replaced the belt twice. That's going to seem bad, but when you actually total up the miles that are on it, it was actually pretty good. So we want to do a video kind of talking about our first 8 to 9 or 10 months with this treadmill. What are our thoughts or impressions with it? Positives, negatives, that kind of thing. Because it's that time of year where people are looking at treadmills, that whole resolution thing and stuff like that. And, get some stuff out there to hopefully help people make some decisions and stuff like that. Because we definitely think this treadmill has been worth it, and it's definitely worth it for us and that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure that there's some positivity out there for that treadmill, for that company. Not sponsored in any way, but yeah, we'll get that out there. A few other things. We'll probably there's a couple things that I want to do, maybe some videos about maintaining the treadmill, things like that, stuff that could be useful for people that do have treadmills and stuff like that, on what to do and keep it clean and functional, and any problems and things like that. Like last week I did take the motor housing off the treadmill, and it was full of dog hair. So kind of things like that. It's kind of in their maintenance that you should be doing that, but most people don't think to. I should have taken pictures and videos of what was inside there before I actually cleaned it out. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, so maybe a little bit of a maintenance video on that. Maybe some other stuff with the treadmill in general. Also, probably do a kind of a streak or a year in review with Heather, because she has done so well on her running and her weight loss and her diet and all that kind of stuff. It's worth capturing that, because she deserves a lot of credit for what she's done there. So I definitely want to make sure that that's kind of captured. So we'll kind of look at that. A few other things coming too. We've got some ideas on our family room. We've done some crafting stuff in the back. We've done a bunch of videos on the family channel in that room and things like that. And we've got a table coming, basically a sit-stand desk that goes a little bit lower than most that we've seen, that can also be used kind of almost as a coffee table, but then can be raised to use as a crafting stand and things like that. So probably do a video on unboxing and setting that thing up when it comes. Yeah, things to stay tuned for over on that channel. But yeah, over here, more videos of this kind coming, hopefully live streams, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's looking forward to getting into the new year here, getting healthier again, and continuing on the health journey. But anyway, thank you for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.